Thank you. All right. Ms. Wiley, can you hear me?
Good morning, Judge Law. Yes.
Oh, okay. Sorry, we've just had a revamp of our audio features in the courtroom, so I just wanted to make sure I'm heard.
Yes.
All right. Good morning, folks. This is what we call our Orca's calendars. Pretty much is the cases that have accrued in the last couple of years. And this morning, we're going to do a status calendar and a plea calendar. I'm going to begin with my status calendar. I had one case, Sergey P. Mavalians. That case has been removed from the calendar. Mr. Mavalians is in compliance, so that matter is removed. So if anyone is here for that, including Attorney Jack Spence, that case has been removed from the calendar. So whoever's here for that case, you're free to go. Janisha May Ammons. I don't know if Miss Zakia Watson Cafe is present, but she has filed a conflict letter. So we're going to reset this case to the next available calendar. Would we have a date?
And Your Honor, I apologize. What is the conflict attorney's name?
Yes, Zakia Watson Cafe.
Thank you.
Next court date is going to be May 13th at 9 a.m. Next one is Thomas LaShawn West, attorney Andrew Wehunt. Attorney is Thomas LaShawn West present. This is a show cause matter.
Yes, Your Honor, I am showing that this case has been reset from February 4th to March 4th. So this would be the second reset for non-appearance.
Okay, I just want to be sure that we
I do show that the notices to Miss West were returned or Mr. West. However, with them having representation, I believe the attorney would have received the notice as well.
We just don't have a good address on LaShawn West. All right. Is the state seeking anything with regards to this matter?
Your Honor, we would ask that it be placed on a dead docket.
Okay. Position one is going to be placed on the dead docket, which is a calendar maintained by the clerk's office. It will remain there for up to 1 year. If there's no activity, it will be submitted for a dismissal.
Thank you.
Okay, are there any other cases that were set for a status report? No? All right. Moving on to our plea calendar. Mr. Thomas, good morning, sir. You have Teosha Ford.
Yes, Your Honor. We have all the paperwork in hand. I sent an electronic copy to the assistant solicitor, and I can send the court copies. Ms. Ford is here, and we are ready to complete that matter.
All right. Let me see if I can.
Do I need to send?
Teosha Ford, you need to start your video. I don't know which one. Under what name is Miss Teosha Ford appearing?
It might be Yoshi's iPad.
All right, Teosha Ford, if you are present, please unmute. Yeah, unmute your iPad.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, I can see you. All right. Would the host please change the name on that screen to Teosha Ford? Thank you very much. Okay. All right, Miss Teosha LaShawn Ford, this is case number 19 CR 004-146A. This is a case from 2018 in which you were charged with improper passing of an emergency vehicle, a violation of the move over law, DUI, driving under the influence of alcohol less safe, failure to maintain lane or an improper lane change, disorderly conduct, and reckless driving. With regards to these 5 misdemeanor charges from June 29, 2018, I'd like to remind you that you have a right to remain silent about the facts of the case. Anything you say about the facts, your statements can and will be used against you. You have a right to an attorney, and Mr. Thomas James Thomas is going to be your counsel. This is going to be a plea hearing. Mr. Thomas, this is a negotiated plea?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Ford, if you don't mind, I'm going to place you under oath for just the purposes of the hearing. If you please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Riley, are you prosecuting this matter?
Your Honor, I'm handling this matter. It's Erica Marshall Story. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Ms. Marshall Story. Okay. What is the state's recommendation, please?
Your Honor, the state's recommendation on a negotiated plea is a reduction from the DUI charge to a reckless driving charge, 40 hours of community service, 1 victim impact panel, the risk reduction program, alcohol drug evaluation and treatment, a $700 fine, and negotiated prior to my arrival in this matter was that there would be an agreement to terminate probation upon completion of these conditions.
All right. And so the improper passing of emergency vehicle, that's going to be null prost?
Yes, Your Honor, I have the null prost. There are some previous charges that were null prost prior to this case making it to the Orca calendar. I have null processed the other matters, or at least they are set up to be sent to the court once this plea has been taken.
All right. So I just want to clarify. According to the order that I signed on March 7th, the null pros pertains to the disorderly conduct, improper passing, failure to maintain lane, and the DUI less safe, which leaves the remaining charge of reckless driving. And that's the remaining charge to which we are addressing, correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Marshall Story. Mr. Thomas?
Thank you, Your Honor. The only little nuance to this is this has been negotiated with Mr. Henderson prior to his retirement. He had agreed, because it was going to become a reckless driving, that she could do a defensive driving course instead of the DUI. I think I'd mentioned this earlier, but I understand it's hard to tell the lettering when it's DDS. And so instead of the DUI course, she was just going to be allowed to take a defensive driving course, which she has completed. I believe she's completed all the other conditions. I have paperwork for that. But other than that, that is our agreement, Your Honor. I think she did circle, and we were going to offer it as a no. I believe she is no eligible. Other than that is our agreement, Your Honor.
All right. I just want to go over the terms. Your client has agreed to 40 hours of community service. Has she completed that?
Yes, Your Honor. She has completed that. I have paperwork which I can forward to probation this morning.
All right. Has she completed the alcohol and drug evaluation?
Yes, she has, Your Honor.
All right. And has she done a one-time victim impact panel?
Yes, she has, Your Honor.
And you're saying that in lieu of a risk reduction, it was agreed upon for a defensive driving class?
Yes, Your Honor, and I have the paperwork that we've completed that too.
All right. And I gather she's paid or not paid the $700 fine plus court costs?
She has a cash bond for enough to cover it. My only concern there is I think someone else might have posted the bond, and I do have a waiver. I had him sign something that he could transfer the bond over to Ms. Ford. If that's sufficient, we can draw from those funds. If not, we will get that straightened out and get that to you.
Okay. All right.
Your Honor, if I may.
Yes, Ms. Marshall Story.
Yes, I haven't received those items. Normally, we will receive them in advance and be able to at least take a look at them. If counsel could forward those to me while we're on the Zoom, then I would appreciate seeing that.
Okay. Put your email in the chat feature to Mr. Thomas, please.
I will.
All right. And then the other component, Ms. Marshall's story, is the risk reduction. Once you have looked over the documents, then let me know your decision as to whether you're willing to accept this defensive driving in lieu of risk reduction.
Your Honor, since this was a formally negotiated plea with Mr. Henderson, if that is what they in fact agreed upon, then I will abide by those terms. I just had not
Okay.
received any paperwork.
That's fine. Just submit the defensive driving certificate. And then, Mr. Thomas, while you're submitting all those documents to Ms. Marshall's story, with regards to the $700 fine. So that is an administrative issue. I'm not sure how smoothly it's going with regards to the cash bonds being posted with the Sheriff's Department. It's a question of you, the attorney or the defendant, going down to the Sheriff's Department and going through these process, I don't know what it is, of getting the sheriff to transfer the funds to probation so the fine may be applied. I mean, the bond money may be applied to the fine. Now, my personal position is that it is easier if the person who posted the bond, once the case is disposed of, goes ahead and collects that bond money, and that the defendant pays the bond, her fine separately.
Yes, I understand that, Your Honor, but our financial position right now is such that we do need to draw on those funds if we're going to be able to.
Then
complete
she
it.
will be on probation until those funds are obtained from the bond, and then she can apply that towards the fine.
We will do that, Your Honor. We're going to do that as soon as they won't let you turn the bond over till the case completes. I've already been through this. So once it completes, then I'm going to be able to do the bond, get the bond released. So-
Understood. So I'm going to leave it to your discretion to decide which is faster, getting the bond back, and I can put it in the plea offer that the bond money shall be released immediately upon entry of this disposition. And and you can take that and see how far that goes.
Yeah, that's exactly what I need, Your Honor. So thank you. And then I'll do that early next week if at all possible.
All right. Ms. Marshall Story, I'll come back to this case as soon as she has seen the documents and she's satisfied that we can move forward with the plea.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
Your Honor, pardon my interruption, but going back to the Orca status calendar, I see that there is an attorney, Zakia Watson,
Oh, she's
on
here.
with us.
Ms. Watson Cafe, are you present?
She's on mute still.
Let's see. She may have, I'll let her chime in. She may be, I know she's filed a conflict, so Ms. Zakia Watson Cafe, good morning. All right, I'll let her chime in when she's ready. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, the next case that we will handle on a plea pending returning
I'm
to.
sorry, Your Honor. I was having issues
Oh.
trying to press the, I was having issues. It's a new phone. I'm sorry.
It's only Friday morning, that's all right. All right, Ms. Watson Cafe, you were on a status calendar for Janisha May Ammons, who is present.
Yes, Your
And,
Honor.
this was we had received your conflict letter, but if you're ready to proceed, have you conferred with Ms. Janisha May Ammons?
Yeah, but we haven't, we just got appointed on this case, Your Honor. I don't believe we have discovery on it yet.
Okay. Let me get Miss Janisha Ammons, if you could unmute your screen, and do you have a room with better lighting?
1 second, move.
All right, that looks better. Thank you. All right, Miss Janisha May Evans, your case is 20 CR 0000836A. You were charged with battery back in October 16, 2019. And we have counsel, Ms. Zakia Watson Cafe, who is present. Do you see her on the Zoom?
Okay.
Yeah, I don't see her now.
All right, are you awake, Ms. Evans?
Yes,
Sure.
I wear glasses, so like
All right.
I'm just
Just want to be sure I have your attention. All right. Ms. Ammons, first of all, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say about the facts of your case, your statements can and will be used against you. You have a right to an attorney. Would you like the services of the conflict attorney, or do you have your own privately retained attorney?
no, I would like to services.
All right. And Miss Watson Cafe will put her contact information. Or would that be satisfactory, Miss Watson Cafe?
We've already been in contact. We have
Okay.
her contact information. We've already been in contact with Miss Ammons.
All right. Miss Marshall Story or Miss Riley? Who's addressing this case? Miss Riley?
That would be Miss Riley. Yes, Your Honor.
Miss Riley, this is pending a program approval update. What kind of program? Is it pretrial diversion?
Your Honor, I do not have that. This is.
Oh, no, I'm reading it off the wrong box. Sorry.
No problem.
Is there a plea offer that the state has?
Yes, Your Honor. The state would put on the record that the plea offer in this case would be 12 months probation, 12 anger management classes, and 40 hours of community service.
All right. Ms. Watson Cafe, we can address this case on, I know you're waiting on discovery. We can address this case today if you want to confer with her in a breakout room, or we can address this matter on May 13th. What would you like to do?
I'll confer with Miss Ammons. But I guess I still, I'll confer with her now.
Okay.
But
In the meantime, Ms. Riley, do you have any discovery that is available for defense counsel?
Yes, Your Honor, I would have the police report available. Ms. Watson Caffey, if you could send me your email address, because I did not see an entry listed.
All right, let's get an email address in the chat feature. Ms. Riley, you can send her the information.
Yes, Your Honor.
And could the host please place Ms. Janisha Ammons and Attorney Watson Cafe in a breakout room, please. Ms. Ammons, you will see a message on your screen to join the breakout room very shortly. Oh. Thank you, Ms. Watson Cafe. I appreciate you being here this morning.
thank you, Your Honor.
All right, so we're going to hold on Ms. Ammons. Ms. Marshall Story, are we ready to proceed with Ford, or we're still holding?
I've not received anything, Your Honor.
Okay, so let me know when you've received it and made a decision to move on with the Ford plea. In the meantime, we will address Shayna Ricalia Robinson, case number 20 CR 0004528. Shayna Robinson, are you present? Shana Robinson, Attorney Luminia Freliza Nevins.
I see Miss Robinson as listed, and I just saw a picture of Miss Nevins. I don't see it now, though. So I believe Miss Robinson is now not muted.
Miss Nevins is present. I do see her.
Okay.
All right.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Ms. Nevins, good morning. Is your client, I did see a Shauna Robinson. Do you know if she is dropped out of the
Yeah.
Zoom? Oh, here she is. Yeah. Miss Shauna Robinson.
I'm sorry, I'm currently driving, so I'm only listening in.
Oh, that's a definite no. You need to pull over and be parked. Otherwise, I'll have you removed from the Zoom calendar. Please, will the host please mute Shauna Robinson until she is present. Ms. Nevins, we will address your case as soon as your client's in a safe location.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Radiant Young, Mr. Young is present, okay? All right, and Mr. Dwight Johnson. Attorney Dwight Johnson.
Yes, Your Honor. Good morning.
Morning, sir. All right. Mr. Radiant Young is 20 CR 0024098.
Judge, the last time we were here, the matter involved discovery. I still don't have all of the discovery. It's just one.
What are you waiting on?
One police report.
What else are you waiting on?
Well, there's a video, there's no body cam, there's indicated that there's a witness information statements. That's not attached. And then also the accusations that that are presented don't correspond with the police report. Drug under influence of
I'm
drugs.
sorry, repeat the last part. I didn't hear you. What did
I
you
said
say?
the accusations
Mhm.
not correspond with the police report. For example, influence of drugs. There's nothing in the police report that indicates that. Under influence of glue, aerosol, toxic vapor. There's nothing in the police report that deals with that at all. So,
Well, if I could address that, Your
Information.
Honor, generally when the Georgia State Patrol does their reports, it may not be in the actual report, but they will check off all of those boxes and they may or may not get accused. As you know, we often dismiss or null pros those charges. So that is not of concern as long as there's the police report for the DUI. There is a corresponding accusation. He has everything that's supposed to be provided by statute. As a courtesy, we normally do provide all of those other items. I did speak to Mr. Johnson last week. If he had a concern, he's had more than enough time to let me know that these were items that he in fact needed in order to decide on a plea or not.
All
So
right.
I would disagree that he doesn't have what the state is statutorily prescribed to provide regarding discovery.
Well, I think it'll be
Your Honor-
easier. No, hang on, Mr. Johnson. First of all, Mr. Young, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say during the course of these proceedings, your statements can and will be used against you. You have a right to an attorney, and Mr. Johnson represents you. So I do understand your position, Mr. Johnson. First of all, I want to see what the state wants to proceed with in terms of the plea. So, Ms. Marshall Story, if we were to move forward with a plea offer, which charges are is the state considering?
Your Honor, I do believe we did discuss a reckless charge in this matter. I'm actually connecting to pull up Odyssey. I'm sorry, I lost the connection and now I've got to sign back in.
All right, so there are 7 charges over here. Is the state proceeding with just the reckless driving? Is that what it's doing?
That's what we discussed that we would move forward on, Your Honor.
And the state's going to null pros the remaining 6 charges?
At this point in time, yes.
Okay. So, Mr. Johnson, if your client wants to proceed with this case, a plea offer, the state is willing to null pros all the other charges. So I don't know if you still want to pursue discovery with regards to the other charges. I'm sorry, and then consider the reckless driving only. Is that your discussions that you've had with the state?
Well, not really, but I would like to talk to my client about the reckless charge.
All right, that's good. With the host, please place Mr. Radiant Young and Mr. Dwight Johnson in a breakout room, please. All right, going back to Miss Zakia Watson, Miss Watson Cafe. What's your announcement on Janisha Ammons?
I did speak with her. She is not accepting the plea. She doesn't want to accept the plea at this time, and we did file discovery motions. So we're gonna wait. We're gonna move forward with discovery.
All right, and would your client like a bench trial? I can schedule one in June with regards to the case.
No, we're gonna prefer a jury trial, Your Honor.
All right. This case is going to be further notice for trial,
Thank you.
and it will be assigned to, who is Division 8? Okay. Will it be assigned to, I'm sorry, I'm trying to pull up the division to which it will be sent.
No problem, Your Honor.
All right. Yeah, Judge Roth, yeah, okay. So we assigned to Judge Roth's division for a jury trial. Ms. Ammons, your attorney is Ms. Zakia Watson Cafe. This is still an open pending case against you with regards to your status. So please be mindful. And Miss Marsh, I'm sorry, was it Miss Riley?
Yes,
All right, Miss Riley, I'm
Yes, Your
assuming,
Honor.
I'm assuming that this case will then be transferred to the relevant prosecutor in Judge Roth's division.
Yes, that is correct, Your Honor, but I will still send Miss Watson Cafe the police report.
Okay, excellent. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That concludes this case. Anything else?
No, Your Honor, may we be excused?
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All
And Your
right.
Honor, that also, I apologize, it's completes my business. I only have the Orca C status calendar. May I also be excused?
Yes, you may. Thank you, Ms. Riley.
Thank you. Have a good weekend.
You too. Thank you. All right. While Mr. Johnson speaks to Mr. Young and while we wait on Ms. Ford's situation, is Shanna Robinson parked in a safe spot?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Good. Okay. Ms. Shauna Ricalia Robinson is 20 CR 0000452A, charged with DUI, under the influence of alcohol, less safe, speeding, and failure to use a turn signal from a March 10, 2018 incident. She's represented by counsel, Ms. Luminia Felisa Nivens. And Ms. Robinson, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say in open court, your statements can and will be used against you. You have a right to an attorney, and representing you is going to be Ms. Nivens. Ms. Marshall-Story, what is the plea offer in this case?
Your Honor, the plea offer involves a DUI reduced to a reckless driving charge, 12 months probation, alcohol drug evaluation and treatment, the DUI risk reduction program, 40 hours of community service, a $700 fine, and 1 victim impact panel.
All right, Ms. Nivens?
Yes, Your Honor, we're asking that you accept the plea agreement that we've entered into with the prosecutor.
All right. Has your client reviewed the plea statements and signed off on them?
Yes, ma'am.
right.
We had the opportunity to discuss it, and she's also signed off on them.
All right. And do you stipulate to the factual basis, venue, and ID for the reckless driving charge?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. And the state will not cross the other charges, okay?
That is
Ms.
correct.
Robinson, yeah, Ms. Robinson, for purposes of this plea, may I place you under oath?
Yes, ma'am.
Right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
All right. So you understand that the remaining that you will only be pleading guilty to 1 count of reckless driving. Is that your understanding? Okay. Ms. Robinson, have you consumed any kind of alcoholic beverages or prescription medication recently?
No, ma'am.
Have you understood the proceedings so far?
Yes, ma'am.
And have you understood and are you satisfied with the representation you've received from Ms. Nivens?
Yes, ma'am.
Is anyone forcing you or inducing you to take a plea today?
No, ma'am.
And have you reviewed the documents and are you still ready to proceed with this case in a voluntary and knowing manner?
Yes, ma'am.
If you take this plea today, you will have to waive your constitutional rights to go back to court, to have a trial before a judge or a jury, to have the assistance of counsel to challenge the state's evidence, confront your accuser, examine witnesses, cross-examine witnesses, present your own defenses, and argue your case before a judge or a jury. You would also have to waive your right to have the state try to prove the charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you prepared to waive these rights?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you plead to 1 count of reckless driving?
Guilty.
Your sentence is 12 months to be placed on probation. While you're on probation, you will complete 1 alcohol and drug evaluation and submit yourself to any treatment if required, and that will be at your expense. You will also need to complete 1 risk reduction program. In addition to that, you will complete 40 hours of voluntary community service. You may do so at any nonprofit agency except a school or a religious institution. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
You are also required to pay a $700 fine plus court costs and fees and complete 1 victim impact panel. You will report to probation every month. Do we have a good address on Ms. Robinson, Ms. Nivens?
Yes, ma'am.
No, I don't see probation over here. So Ms. Robinson, you will report to probation by next Thursday. I believe it was Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. Yep. You will report to the probation office by next Thursday, and that would be at 132 Mitchell Street. Hello, Ms. Robinson?
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry. I was just writing down that address.
All right. Next Thursday by 132 Mitchell Street. And you will report to probation every month. After all these items are completed, the alcohol and drug risk reduction, community service, the fine, and the victim impact panel. Any objection, Ms. Marshall-Story, to termination if she completes all the conditions?
No, Your Honor, there's no objection.
All right. The sooner
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. And the sooner you complete that, your probation will terminate.
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
Anything else, Ms. Nibbins?
No, that completes my business. May I be excused?
Yes, thank you, Ms. Nibbins. Thank you, Ms.
Thank you.
Robinson. Don't forget to report to probation, okay? Thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I'm reviewing the assessments now from Defense Attorney Thomas. I believe we're able to move forward.
Okay, thank you.
Judge, if I can speak with Ms. Marshall-Story in the breakout.
Okay, just give me a moment. She's right now going to begin a plea.
Okay, that's fine.
Cece, this is Robinson. Okay, going back to Teosha Ford. Ms. Ford,
There she is.
there she
Your Honor.
goes. All right, good.
She's a little under the weather, Your Honor, and that's why
Okay.
she's taking a break.
Okay. All right, Ms. Ford, I'm sorry if you're not feeling well, but I will try to get through this as fast as possible, okay? So this is 19 CR 004146A. The state has, and we've already clarified the terms. So you understand that Ms. Ford has, and Ms. Ford, I'll just like to remind you of your right to remain silent about the facts of your case, all right? Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, I understand. Okay. Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes,
All right. And Mr. Thomas, do you stipulate to the factual basis, venue, and ID for the charge of reckless driving?
We do, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Ford, have you recently, well, you must be on medication, but have you recently consumed any alcohol?
no,
All right. Have you, I understand that you're really under the weather, but have you understood the proceedings so far?
yes,
And are you satisfied with the representation of Mr. Thomas?
yes,
And are you proceeding with this plea freely and voluntarily?
yes,
And has anyone forced you to take this plea today?
no,
If you decide to take this plea, you will have to waive your constitutional rights to go back to court, to have a trial before a judge or a jury, to have the assistance of counsel, to challenge the state's evidence, confront your accuser, examine witnesses, argue your case to a judge or a jury, or have the state try to prove the charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you prepared to waive these rights?
yes,
How do you plead to the one count of reckless driving?
no law,
All right. Is that the plea to which the state's accepting?
Yes, Your Honor, because it was freely, it was previously negotiated with Henderson.
All right. I'll accept your nolo contendere plea to reckless driving. The remaining charges are null pros. With regards to your sentence is 12 months probation. Your 40 hours of community service is completed, and so that's complied. The one victim impact panel is completed, so that's complied. The defensive driving requirement that you've completed, that's complied. The alcohol and drug evaluation is completed, and so that's complied. The only remaining issue is your $700 fine plus court costs and fees. I will put an order in the disposition sheet that whoever posted your bond shall be able to cash out that bond upon proof of the disposition entered today. And then thereafter, as soon as you pay off the fine, then plus the court costs and fees, probation will terminate.
I'll just pay it today.
Whatever you decide to do, that'll be fine. Mr. Thomas?
I think she's saying she has the funds available today to pay it, and then we'll work out getting the bond sorted just to close the case out, because it can
All right.
terminate.
I will waive your probation fees for the month of April. You will report to probation by next Tuesday, 132 Mitchell Street, Ms. Ford. Would that be too soon?
I have COVID.
Okay, so I will waive your probation fees for April and May. As soon as you're able to do so, please report to probation. And that way, once you pay off your fine, the matter is over and done with. But since you are on probation, you will have to report to probation. We will see if we can get probation to contact you virtually or by phone.
Okay.
You want to put a contact for probation in the chat so we can make sure we follow up?
Do we have a? It's in the chat. It's in the chat. Okay. Okay. All right, Ms. Ford. We have your contact information. It's in the chat. No, actually, we have probation's contact information. Mr. Thomas, take that down and you can convey it to your client.
I certainly will, Your Honor. Can
Okay.
Ms. Ford be excused? I'll go ahead and follow up, make sure we contact probation and getting the
Yeah.
fine and everything in.
Excellent.
We can get
Okay.
it back to bed.
Ms. Ford, go rest up. Lots of water, lots of candy, and watch a lot of TV.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Take care. Mr. Thomas, do you have anything else?
No, I do not. And thank you, Ms. Marshall-Story. You were very professional in handling this, and I greatly appreciate that.
You
That's
are
all I
very
have, Your Honor.
welcome. Thank you.
All right, folks. Thank you, Mr. Thomas. You're free to go. All right. Destiny Fleetwood, are you present?
I'm here.
All right. This is going to be with Ms. Wanda Gant. Alexis Griffin, are you present? I thought I saw a chat about Alexis Griffin. Oh, I see him. Okay. And who represents Alexis Griffin? Alexis Griffin. Who represents you?
I'm here. I don't know her name. Nobody have reached out to me or anything.
All right. Work on your Zoom. We need to get your video working as well. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. John Lovett, do you know if the PD's office is representing position number 4, Alexis Makia Griffin?
I'm not knowledgeable about the case, but I will be in a moment, Your Honor. I'd be happy to speak with her.
All right. Oh, shoot. Okay. Let's address Destiny Fleetwood. Destiny Fleetwood, she is present and she's got a video on. Excellent. Okay. Ms. Fleetwood, your case is position 520 CR 002-618A. You were charged with DUI, alcohol per se, reckless driving, and failure to signal a lane change or turn from November 22nd, 2018 in Fulton County, Georgia. With regards to your case, you have a right to remain silent, and anything you say about the facts, your statements can and will be used against you. You have a right to an attorney, and your counsel is Ms. Wanda Gant. Do you see Ms. Gant on the screen?
Yes, I do.
All right, good. This is going to be a plea hearing. Ms. Gant, are we ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor, but I do need a moment with ASG Marshall-Story, and then a brief moment with my client prior to moving forward.
All right. Is this something, do you need a breakout room for that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Okay. All right. Mr. Lovett is going to speak to Alexis Griffin. All right. We're going to put Miss Marshall Story in a breakout room. And if the host could place Dwight Johnson in a breakout room with Marshall Story first, because he's been waiting to speak to Miss Marshall Story. And then
Thank you,
after
Your Honor.
that, it will be Miss Wanda Gant. All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, and we'll be in recess until the folks are ready to proceed with the plea hearing. So Ms. Gant, please hold, and you'll be next to speak to Ms. Marshall Story, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Miss Alexis Griffin, if you can put your phone number in the chat feature, or Mr. Lovett, did you want to go in a breakout with Miss Alexis Griffin?
Whatever's easiest for the court and for Miss Griffin.
All right.
I can do either.
Would the host please place Alexis Griffin? Where is she? Okay, as soon as she comes on, I think she may have left to fix a video issue.
Okay, I'll wait for her in the
Okay,
breakout room, I guess.
all right.
Is Miss Griffin on?
Miss Alexis Griffin, are you back in the Zoom? I don't see anyone chime in under that yet.
I'll keep looking for her, Your Honor.
All
Thank you.
right.
I'm admitting Ms. Griffin back into the main session. I'll put you all in the breakout room as soon as she's admitted. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, Ms. Marshall Story, you've concluded your conference with Ms. Gant. Oh, I'm sorry, you're on mute. You're on mute, Ms. Marshall Story.
I was speaking with Attorney Johnson, I
Oh,
believe.
that's all right, Ms. Johnson, Mr.
Yes.
Johnson, yes.
He may have an application for the court, and then I'll speak with Ms. Gant.
All right, yeah, Mr. Johnson, what's the status on your client, Mr. Young?
We would go with the reckless judge, but Ms. Marshall's story indicated to me that she needs time to get the paperwork to me.
Yeah.
As we did not
Can
discuss.
you prepare it today, Ms. Marshall's story, and get it to Mr. Johnson? We'll take the plea like in 30 minutes.
Yes, Your Honor, I can do that.
Okay, if you can get the paperwork, Mr. Johnson, share paperwork with Mr. Young.
Well, he has to, yeah, Judge, he
I
has to
understand.
sign off on it.
Understood. I was going to say I can place both of you in a breakout room, and if you want to go over the paperwork with him, I will accept a signature with his express permission.
Okay, the Ms. Marshall's story suggested if we could get a short reset on this, so she can.
No.
Well, no, let me be clear, Your Honor. I reached out to the attorney last week in preparation of getting this plea work together, if he were so inclined. That did not happen. What I have since explained is I don't have Adobe, so it takes me a second longer in order to do the plea paperwork than some of my colleagues. But when I said he should have an application, this is his application, but this is due in no fault to me not being prepared for this court calendar.
I'm not suggesting
no,
that.
hang on.
I'm not suggesting
Ms. Marshall's
that,
story
Judge. I mean,
and Mr. Johnson, stop. I play phone tag with family members who always scream at me because I don't respond in time. But all this is not relevant to Mr. Young's ability to move on. Right now, I want him to be able to look at this case and see if he can have a possibility to move on and put this case behind him. So I appreciate the to and fro between the both of you, but that is not relevant to why we are here today for Mr. Young. So Mr. Johnson, Ms. Marshall's story, as soon as you have the paperwork ready, please forward that to Mr. Johnson. You have his email, correct?
I actually sent him the recommendation in the chat. So Mr. Johnson, if you have not already placed your email in the chat, that would be great. I believe our conversation was via telephone, so I don't think we've had any correspondence via email.
Okay. Ms. Ms. Marshall Story's email is Erica, ERIKA .marshall-story@fultoncountyga.gov. And it's also in the chat feature. All right, Mr. Johnson, why don't you just...
I'm sorry, Judge, that story at fultoncountyga.gov?
Correct. And that's STORY,
right,
not EY.
And Mr. Johnson, if you just send a ping to Ms. Marshall's story, she will forward you the plea paperwork that you can review with your client in a breakout room. And if he is in agreement, you can actually sign off on those items and scan and email them back to Ms. Marshall's story, and we can proceed with the plea. Okay?
Okay, I'll send her my email.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Ms. Marshall's story, I know you've got one assignment to get the paperwork, but right now I'm going to place you in a breakout room with Wanda Gant.
That's fine, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. Mr. John Lovett, I'm hoping that you managed to touch base with Alexis Griffin. She is back on the Zoom.
Yes, Your Honor, we were able to speak. I think she was a little bit confused. She has not submitted an application for representation to the Public Defender's Office. I did talk with her about her case, and I'm happy to help try and move it along at this point. I don't want to speak for her since I don't technically represent her, but I believe that she's going to be asking the court to reset the case so that she can make a formal application to our office, Your Honor.
All right. Do you have the application right now? I know she has to reach out to I can't remember the email. Was it?
It should be in the Zoom, Your Honor. Hold on. I mean, in the chat, beg your pardon.
All right. Miss Alexis Griffin, if you can unmute your screen, please.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. This is case 20 CR 0024555A. State versus Alexis Makia Griffin, charged with battery from July 28th, 2018. Ms. Griffin, the reason you are here is because this is set for a possible plea. Have you not applied for the public defender's office in the past?
No, ma'am.
All right.
I really don't know what that is. I know what it is, but I don't know how to do it or nothing like that.
Well, have you ever come down to the Fulton County to apply?
No, ma'am. I didn't know that was open.
All right, Ms. Griffin. Your case was accused on April 4th, 2020. This is an active case against you. You did not appear on September 30th, 2020 because apparently you did not receive the Zoom invite.
Right.
Your case was then scheduled to February 4th, 2020. I don't know if you appeared. Did you appear the last time?
Yes, ma'am.
Then you appeared on March 4th, 2022, and the case was reset for a plea for today. So I'm not certain why you have not, number one, hired an attorney or not sought out services from the public defender's office. Where are you located?
I'm located in Union City.
Okay, I can either make you drive down here right now and show up and apply, or you're going to work with Mr. Lovett to fill out the application, see if you qualify, and then if you want to enter a plea today, we can do that, or you can discuss other options if you qualify for Mr. Lovett's case. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Again, do you see the chat feature on your screen?
Yes, I think so. Yes, ma'am. Yes.
All right, you have to send an email to statecourtpd@fultoncountyga.gov and request an application.
But see, I had did that the last time. I do remember sending the email to that email with the last lady, but the lady didn't show up. That was supposed to, my accuser for court, so she didn't ever reach back out to me or nothing. And then remember, you told me to give her my recent address, email, and phone number in the last chat as well. I had did all that the last time.
To whom? To whom?
It was a lady on here in the courtroom with you.
What was her name?
I don't
Okay.
remember her name.
Send a copy of that email that you sent. Do you have a copy of that email?
Yes, ma'am. I could go back on there.
All right, and forward that email to Mr. Lovett. To whom should she
I'll
forward?
put my email in the chat, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Ms. Griffin, you're going to see Attorney Lovett's email there. Forward that previous email to Mr. Lovett. If you qualify, he's going to speak to you today, because I'm not going to reset your case and, continuously unless we have something in place.
Okay, yes, ma'am. So I don't need to come down there right now?
No,
Oh, I don't know. You
you
need
see
to
my
hang on there.
address, my email address, Ms. Griffin?
Yes, I got it now.
Email me your application there, okay?
Yes.
I don't care if it's the original email you sent. I just need the application you filled out.
Okay.
Here we go. All right. Will the host please mute Alexis Griffin until she gets her application squared away?
Ms. Griffin, can you hear me? I need you to call the number I put in chat, Ms. Griffin.
I was trying to fix the video. I can hear you. I got the application now. Someone just emailed it to me.
Okay. Can you just call the number in the chat that I gave you?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Ms. Griffin, just get off the Zoom and call me, please. Ms. Griffin, can you hear me?
All right, Mr. Lovett, could you please resend your number to Ms. Griffin?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, Ms. Gant and Ms. Marshall Story, are we ready to proceed with Destiny Fleetwood?
Yes, Your Honor, if I may just have one moment with my client, please.
Okay. If the host could place Ms. Gant and Ms. Fleetwood in a breakout room.
This is
All right, Ms. Gant, are we ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor, we are prepared to move forward with a negotiated plea.
All right, thank you very much. We are addressing State versus Destiny Fleetwood, 20 CR 0026188. Ms. Fleetwood is present with her attorney, Ms. Wanda Gant. Ms. Fleetwood, again, I'll remind you, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say about the facts of your case, your statements can and will be used against you. With regard to this negotiated plea, may I place you under oath? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Marshall Story, what's the terms of the state's offer?
Your Honor, the state is willing or has provided plea paperwork that states the following. The DUI will be reduced to a reckless driving, 12 months probation, 40 hours of community service, DUI risk reduction program, alcohol, drug evaluation and treatment if necessary, a $700 fine, one victim impact course panel.
All right, thank you. Ms. Gant, are those the terms to which your clients agreed?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you stipulate to the factual basis, venue, and ID for the charge of reckless driving?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And in light of that, the state will null pros the DUI under the influence of alcohol per se and the failure to signal a lane change on turn. Correct, Ms. Marshall Story?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Fleetwood, first of all, have you consumed any kind of medication or alcohol recently?
No, ma'am.
Right. And have you understood the proceedings so far?
Yes.
And are you satisfied with the representation you received from Ms. Gant?
Yes, ma'am.
Is anyone forcing you or inducing you to take a plea today?
No, ma'am.
And if you decide to accept this, enter a plea to the charge of reckless driving, you would have to waive your constitutional rights to go back to court, to have the opportunity of a trial before a judge or a jury, to be able to confront your accuser, examine witnesses, cross-examine them, present evidence to challenge the state's case, present evidence of your defenses, as well as have the state try to prove the original charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you prepared to give up these rights?
Yes.
Are you entering a plea knowingly, willingly, and voluntarily?
Yes.
How do you plead to the one count of reckless driving?
Nolo.
Right. I'll accept your plea of nolo contendere to this charge. Your sentence is 12 months to be placed on probation. While you're on probation, you will complete 40 hours of voluntary community service at any nonprofit agency except a school or religious institution. Has this been done yet?
No, Your
Not-
Honor.
Okay. You need to complete a risk reduction class at your expense, complete an alcohol and drug evaluation with a qualified provider. And if treatment is required, you need to submit yourself to that treatment. In addition to that, you will pay a $700 fine plus the court costs and fees and complete one victim impact panel. You will report to probation by next Thursday at 132 Mitchell Street in Atlanta, Georgia. Do you have a pen and paper to take that information down?
I got it from the chat.
Okay, good. The probation telephone number is 404-591-3180. Once you have reported there, they will place you on probation and you will report to probation to complete all these terms. Any objection to termination, Ms. Marshall Story, if she completes everything?
No, not in this case, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Fleetwood, if you complete all the requirements of your probation, then your probation will terminate.
Understood.
All right. Anything else, Ms. Gant?
Your Honor, we entered into this agreement fairly late, and Ms. Fleetwood hasn't had the opportunity to complete any of the terms prior to accepting this arrangement. And I would ask that Your Honor waive probation fees while she's completing her requirements.
I will waive probation fees for the first 5 months, which will be through the end of September 2022.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Right? All right, anything else on this case?
Nothing further from the defense, and we would like to thank the state for their, for this resolution.
Thank you. Ms. Fleetwood, don't forget to report to probation by next Thursday.
Okay.
All right, thank you. You're free to go. Thank you.
Nice day.
You too. Thank you.
Your Honor, this concludes my matter. May I be excused?
Yes. Do you have anything at 11 o'clock or is that Mr. Haddad?
I am just here for the limited purpose of this plea, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Gant. You have a good morning. Thank you. Okay, Mr. Dwight Johnson and Mr. Radiant Young, are we ready to proceed?
Your Honor, I am just
I'm waiting for the
finishing up that paperwork.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, sorry. All right,
Okay.
we'll be in recess until that's done. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
And Mr. Lovett, I hope things are moving smoothly.
Yeah. Could I wanted to report, Your Honor, I have not received the application, although in talking with Ms. Griffin, it doesn't appear she would qualify for our office. I'm trying to help her move this case and the court move this case along a little bit. I think that I don't believe that she's received an offer from the state yet.
Okay.
I'm happy to
trying to
go
help
ahead and
facilitate
provide that if it helps.
All right, first of all, Ms. Griffin, if you could unmute, please.
Thank you, Ms. Marshall Story.
I was trying to talk to the prosecutor to see what my charges would be if I plead guilty.
All right, Ms. Griffin, first of all, please understand that you're not represented by counsel. So do exercise your right to remain silent about the facts of the case. Anything you say, your statements can and will be brought against you. But in the meantime, Ms. Marshall Story will let you know if you decide to plead guilty or no contest to the charge of battery. This is their recommended sentence. Ms. Marshall Story.
Your Honor, on a plea to the battery, the state is recommending 12 months probation, anger management, a $300 fine, and no further violent contact with April Michelle Turner.
How do you spell the last name?
Turner, Turner.
Okay. All right. So, Ms. Griffin, and how many weeks anger management would y'all be required?
Your Honor, I normally leave that up to probation. In this matter, I'm fine with 1 or 2 classes, if that's an option.
I will do a 2-week class. Okay. Ms. Griffin,
Yes, ma'am.
did you listen to Ms. Marshall's story?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. If you'd like to speak to Mr. Lovett, I think he's here to just give you some guidance. But you decide if you want to accept this recommendation, then we can send you the paperwork to review, to sign off on, and then send it back to us so we can proceed with your case this morning.
Okay.
All right. Mr. Lovett, if you, or Ms. Griffin, if you want to speak to each other on the phone, that'll be perfectly fine.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Griffin, either please call me or pick up the call that I'm trying to call you.
Mr. Lovett, I already go to trial.
Okay. That's fine. All right. You can tell the judge that then. That's fine. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Miss Alexis Griffin, I guess you've thought about it. What would you like to do?
I just rather go to trial.
All right. Just 1 second. Mhm. All right, I'm going to arraign this case. which means that Ms. Griffin, if you plan to enter a plea of not guilty and have a trial, then that's basically what I'm going to do right now is arraign the case so that you can do so. Do you want me to read the accusation?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So this is State versus Alexis Makia Griffin, case number 20 CR 0024558. Ms. Griffin was accused of battery on July 28, 2018 in Fulton County, Georgia. The Solicitor General's Office of Fulton County has filed the accusation on April 4th, 2020. Ms. Griffin, again, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say about the facts of the case, your statements can and will be used against you. You have a right to an attorney. It appears you do not qualify for the services of the Public Defender's Office. So you do have a right to retain private counsel, or if you choose to represent yourself, then you are responsible for understanding how the law applies to your facts of your case or how it applies to your personal situation. I would not be able to give you any legal advice. The Solicitor General's Office of Fulton County has accused Alexis Griffin with the offense of battery, a misdemeanor, and that the accused in Fulton County on July 28, 2018, did intentionally cause visible bodily harm to April Turner, to wit, punched and kicked April Turner, causing April Turner to injure her right shoulder, and this was in violation of OCGA section 16-5-23.1. Upon your entry of a not guilty plea to this accusation, the case will be scheduled for a bench trial or a jury trial. At the time of the trial, the prosecutor has the complete burden to prove the charge against you beyond a reasonable doubt. If the prosecutor succeeds, you could be convicted of this offense and face a penalty of up to a year in prison and or up to $1,000 fine. Given this information, how do you plead, Ms. Griffin?
Not guilty.
All right, and Ms. Griffin, would you like a bench trial that can be scheduled today? Or if you prefer a jury trial, then I will send the case back to Judge J. Roth and it will be scheduled for a jury trial. I do not know when it will be scheduled. I have no inkling as to Judge Roth's jury trial calendar. So this case could remain open and pending until you reach jury trial date. What would you like to do?
Jury trial.
If you, okay, this case is going to be further notice to Judge Roth calendar. We will issue, just a minute. All right. Since this, like I said, since this case is going to be scheduled for a jury trial, Ms. Griffin, I do not have a court date. A case management order is going to be executed today, and it will be sent to you at the address that we have on file. By next Tuesday, which is the date, let me see, 26th. By April 26, 2022, I'm directing you to come down to the clerk's office at 160 Prior Street for two reasons. Number one, to update us or confirm your current mailing address, contact information, and so forth, to receive a copy of the case management order, and to fill out the paperwork to confirm your request for a jury trial. Do you understand, Ms. Griffin?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you may do so anytime before 4 o'clock today, or you may do so by Tuesday before the close of business. Do you have any questions?
No.
All right, we will see you by Tuesday to get the confirmation of a jury trial, get a copy of the case management order, and to confirm your mailing address. Thank you. You're free to go.
I forwarded that paperwork to Defense Counsel Johnson, Your Honor.
All right, let's hold until he's had a chance to confer with his client. All right, while we are waiting on Mr. Johnson conferring with his client, on the status calendar, Position number 1, Thomas West was dead docketed. Position number 2 is further notice for trial. Position number 3 has been removed from the calendar for compliance. Okay, on the plea calendar at 9 o'clock. This is the Orca C plea calendar. Position number 1 was the plea. Position number 2 was the plea. Position number 3 is pending. Position number 4 and position number 5, position number 4 entered a not guilty plea. The case is further notice for trial. Position number 5, Destiny Fleetwood was a plea. All right, we'll be in recess until Mr. Johnson and his client appear. Hopefully it won't be too long. And Mr. Lovett, I think, thank you so much for trying to help her out.
You're welcome, Your Honor. That concludes my business until 11 o'clock. May I be excused until then?
Yes, definitely.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, Mr. Lovett?
Yes, Your Honor.
Just to go over the 11 o'clock calendar. That's
Yes, ma'am.
okay, I'm sorry, let me pull that up. I have a 11:30 status calendar on Tonia Browning. Are you representing her?
No, I'm not, Your Honor.
All right, it seems that she's in the diversion program, so I just want to confirm that.
Yeah, I think.
Frederick Sproul.
No, Your Honor, I looked into that. I believe that was someone who didn't appear.
Right.
Maybe had notice issues to reset it, if I'm not mistaken.
Same with Jared Pullitt.
I do represent Mr. Jared Pullitt. And I've not yet spoken with the state about that or received an offer. I'm not sure who's going to be representing the state on that.
Your Honor, I actually have that calendar regarding Mr. Sproul. We gave him the option of going into Operation 21, and he has been added to that batch list. So again, he's not in as of now. So it may mean that he actually has warranted.
Okay, so let's see whether he shows up.
Okay, and regarding Jared Poole, I didn't have an attorney of record.
I just filed an entry on that.
Okay.
I filed it the other day, but it got hung up apparently, so I refiled it this morning.
All right, if you have an offer on that, Ms. Marshall story, could you just forward that to Mr. Lovett? His email is John, common spelling, Lovett, Lovett, at fultoncountyga.org.
I may not just put it on the record. No.
Well, it's not till 11:30, so if you all want.
But that's fine. I'll send it to him via email.
Okay,
All
so
right.
that's on the status calendar for 11:30. On the bench trial calendar, Kenton Hunter, position number 4, has been null crossed on April 19.
Yep.
Position number 3, Latasha Jones, has been null crossed on April 20th. Javion Mitchell is set for trial, and I've got a motion, a bench trial, and I've got a motion to suppress to address as well. And Shamika Mason is set for trial and a possible plea. So I've got 1 and 2 that may go to a bench trial.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, all right, just wanted to get an update.
No, that was good. That's a good use of time for all of us. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. All right, I'll be with you shortly as soon as Mr. Johnson's ready. Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Lovett, this is Edward Smith. My phone number is 470-303-4629. In regards to reset the court date and the hospital documentation was hand delivered yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Hold on. Judge Law?
Yes, Ms. Story?
Yes, am I able to provide an update on position number 1 on the 11:30 calendar, or would you prefer to wait until?
Oh, you can tell me, that's fine. That
Okay,
was
I have Ms. Gathea. Okay, what was that again?
Shamika Mason for the bench trial or the status calendar?
For the bench trial calendar.
I have Shamika
Shamika
Mason.
yes.
Yeah.
Mhm. Okay, there will be, there has been an agreement between defense counsel and the state on that matter, and they are just determining which program the defendant will enter into. So I'm
Okay.
happy to make that announcement again on the Orca calendar, but did want to give you that information now so you're aware.
Okay, so we are left with one matter for a possible bench trial then. Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
The story, Marshall, so I just sent the plea paperwork back.
Counsel,
Yes,
I'm not agreeing to a NOLO.
I know, I understand.
Right, but you shouldn't have circled it because my name is on it. If that's an issue you want to take up with the judge, you are always free to do a blind plea.
Okay,
But I'm not agreeing to a NOLO, not in this particular matter, and I've explained why.
yeah, I understand, I understand. So I can just resend it as that. All right, I'll just let me print off a clean copy
Okay.
and I'll send that back. I'll explain to the
All right, Radiant Young, Dwight Johnson, and Miss Erica Marshall Story. Let us proceed.
Your Honor, have you
Okay, I
received?
just sent that.
Go ahead. I was waiting to receive an updated copy
I just did.
of the paperwork.
Yeah, I just did.
Why don't you go ahead and CC the court and I'll review it so we can move this forward. I trust that it is correct this time.
Yeah, I just sent it.
Okay, would you like to forward that also to the court?
What's the email for the court?
This
I
should
don't
go
have
to Ms.
that.
Bolton. Is that correct, Your Honor?
Yes.
You want me to do it or you can do it?
I'm looking at it. I'm almost finished. I just didn't want to hold up any more time. So I'll do it.
Thank you.
Okay.
You good, Ms. Marshall Story?
Yes, Your Honor, I am sending that right now
Okay, perfect.
to Ms. Bolton.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, am I pronouncing that correct? Mr. Johnson, your client's name is Radiant?
Yes, right in. Yes,
Radiant, okay.
yes.
So this is case 20 CR 0024098, State versus Radiant Young. Mr. Young was originally accused of several counts, including DUI under the influence of alcohol and drugs and so forth. But the state has decided to null pros all his charges with the exception of one charge, reckless driving. So we are going to have a plea hearing with regards to Mr. Young's decision to enter a plea of guilty to one count of reckless driving allegedly occurring on September 3rd, 2018 in Fulton County, Georgia. Mr. Young, you've been advised of your right to remain silent, and your attorney is Mr. Dwight Johnson. With regards to this case, if we are addressing a plea, may I place you under oath? Other right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide is the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Thank you. All right, Ms. Marshall Story, what is the state's recommendation for one count of reckless driving?
Your Honor, the state's recommendation is to the charge, which is already on the docket of reckless driving, 12 months probation, a $700 fine, alcohol drug evaluation and treatment, the DUI risk reduction program, a $700 fine, one victim impact panel.
All right. 12 months probation, $700 fine, alcohol and drug evaluation, risk reduction, and one victim impact panel. Any objection to termination upon completion?
Yes, Your Honor, I do have an objection. I'm sorry, the state has an objection to termination upon completion of these conditions and believes that based upon the facts of this case and a prior driving history, that probation should be completed at the end of its term.
And what we would be asking, Your Honor, is that Mr. Young completes all of the requirements that be placed on non-report.
I have no objection to non-reporting, but I do have an objection to early termination.
Right, we're not asking.
I will do non-reporting, but subject to random screens for no alcohol and no drugs while he's on probation.
That'll be fine.
All right. Okay, and Mr. Johnson, is the defense going to stipulate to the factual basis, venue, and ID to support the sole count of reckless driving?
Yes.
Anything else, sir?
Judge, we would also ask the court to consider a NOLO plea on the reckless driving.
All right, on the basis of?
On the basis of one, keeping point license, number one. Two, he is going to be a flight attendant for an airline, and his record, we want to just keep points of his license.
Your Honor, the state has an objection. The state has been extremely generous in this matter. The defendant has a prior DUI case. I am agreeing because of facts and circumstances known to both myself and counsel that we will agree to the reduction or to the charge that is there of reckless driving. But I do have an objection to providing a reckless driving along with a no low plea in this matter.
All right, how old is the prior DUI conviction?
Your Honor, I'll have to pull that back up. Counsel
That's
may
fine.
have that immediately in front of him. Let me
I
get
think
out.
it goes back to 2005, I think, Judge. She can verify that.
Your Honor, I'm gonna verify that.
Not be possible. I've got a date of birth of 1991, so it's a 2005.
What's your date of birth, Mr. Young?
1991.
Might be later. You said you told me 2005.
I believe it was on my 21st birthday. I'm not sure what month, year that was.
Oh, okay.
Would that be 2012?
Your Honor, I'm on his rap sheet right now, or GCIC right now. It was in July of 2013, Your Honor.
Okay. All right.
And if I may, it was also a DUI per se, as this case was.
Given the numerous charges that were brought in this case, given the fact that were originally brought in this case, given the fact that Mr. Young has a prior DUI conviction in less than 10 years, I'm going to deny the request for a novel contendere. I will only accept a guilty plea. Mr. Young, would you still like to proceed with this plea?
Yeah.
Okay. So Mr. Young, at the present time, you've already been sworn. Have you consumed any alcohol or illegal drugs recently?
No.
And have you understood the proceedings so far?
Yes.
Are you satisfied with the representation of your attorney?
Yes.
And has he explained to you that by taking this plea, this will have an impact on your driving record, or it may have an impact upon your license or any other professional matters you have to address?
Yes.
All right. I don't think this applies, but has he advised you that it may also impact your residency in this country? But I don't know if that's relevant in your.
Yes.
Okay. And Mr. Young, if you decide to take this plea today, you would have to waive and give up your constitutional rights to go back to court, to have a trial before a judge or a jury with regards to the original charges, to have the assistance of counsel to challenge the state's evidence, present your own defenses, confront your accuser, examine witnesses, and as well as argue your case before a judge or a jury. You would also have to give up your right to have the state try to prove the charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you prepared to give up these rights?
Yes.
Is anyone forcing you to take a plea today?
No.
How are you pleading to the one count of reckless driving?
Guilty.
Your sentence is 12 months on probation. You will report to probation by next Thursday at 132 Mitchell Street, Suite 2A. The phone number is 404-591-3180. While you're on probation, you will pay a $700 fine plus court costs and fees, complete an alcohol and drug evaluation by a qualified provider, and submit yourself to any treatment that's required, and that would be at your expense. You would also need to complete a risk reduction program, attend and complete one victim impact panel program, and you will continue to report to probation until all these conditions are satisfied. If they are all satisfied, you will go on non-reporting probation, but you will be subject to random screens. While you are on active reporting and non-reporting probation, you are to abstain from all illegal drugs and no alcoholic beverages. That concludes the sentence. Anything else, Mr. Johnson?
That's next Thursday to report at 404-591-3180, correct?
That's the phone number. The address is 132 Mitchell Street, Suite 2A. By next Thursday, which is 28.
28. That concludes my business, Judge. May I be excused?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Johnson. Mr. Young,
you.
if you have any questions, please reach out to your attorney, but don't forget to report to probation.
Okay, thank you. Have a great day.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Be safe. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Marshall-Story. We will resume at 11:30.
Thank you, Your Honor. And Your Honor, just so you're aware, in case you see me pop up on the Zoom, we have another attorney who will be handling the matter before you in front of at 11:30.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye.